Hello everybody, this is Carlo here for Forge Glory Custom Leathercraft, and I have to modify my belt, so I thought I'd take this time to talk about belts. So here's the belt that I made for myself. Made it, I don't know how long ago, but we're going to put this aside for a second. Well, let's do this one first. I've lost a little bit of weight. When I made this belt, you can see by the marks, there was the buckle, so it was on this one. Yeah, so all my belts, they come with the standard 5-hole, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They come with the standard 5 holes, and that's normal for every belt maker. That way, if you gain weight, you got a couple holes there to gain weight, or if sometimes you conceal carry and carry your holster on the inside of the belt, you got a couple of holes there so that you can do that. And then you have 2 holes for just in case you lose weight. This helps you keep your belt for a long time instead of just having 1 hole. So I started here in the middle. That's how much weight I've lost, so pretty happy with myself. Ooh. Got to get my trusty dusty little hole punch. Probably should have laid this out before. Alright, sometimes it gets stuck on there. My doctor's moved around my medication. I don't have a thyroid, and as some of you know, your thyroid is your metabolism. And so my doctors saw that my metabolism wasn't working right, so they changed it up, and I've lost about 25 pounds. So I don't want to make a new belt yet, so I can still get a little bit of use out of this one. And so I put a new hole. Pretty proud of myself. Just wanted to share that with you guys. That's pretty much what I do. Now, to restore a belt, after you've been wearing it, it molds to your body. If you wear a holster, it molds to the holster. What you can do is you can take the belt, completely submerge it in water, and then roll it up. And, roll it up tight. Well, not tight, but, each one of these has got to be right next to each other. And then you tie it down with some thread or something, and then let it dry that way, and it'll make everything dry up evenly. And let's talk about my belts. So my belts, the belts that I make got some scuff marks there. They are just leather. So this is genuine leather. Now this belt here that you see was sold to me, I don't know how long ago it was, but as you can see, this buckle is looking kind of nasty. So this is a really old belt. I haven't purchased a belt in probably about a decade. So this is a really old belt because I make my own. And so this belt, when I got it, I thought I was being clever, and I'd look at the back. I mean, you could barely see it. I can barely see it, so I'm sure you guys can't see it, but it said made in China. And then there was a little stamp here that said genuine leather. As most of you, I'm sure you've bought genuine leather, and then you have this happen to your genuine leather belts, where the grain of the leather starts to get messed up there where the your favorite belt hole is, for your buckle. It starts to get messed up there because the buckle's hitting it, it's starting to tear, it's starting to pull. And for the longest time I was just like, well, that's just cheap leather. But let's cut this thing open, see what this is really made out of. So it said genuine leather, so there's a genuine leather here. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna cut it, and then this one is stitched. You see this? There's no stitching on this one. because that's just one solid piece of leather. This, they're stitching. And for the longest time, you know, before I knew anything about leather, I thought the stitching was just decorative. So I just thought it was one big piece of leather. But as you see here, you have 3 layers of material. Oh, it's going to fall right apart. So you have these 3 layers of material. Now look at that. Not sure how well you can see that, so I want to bring it up closer. Does leather have threads? I mean, the belt said genuine leather. Why is there threads? Odd, right? So you come to this back piece, and we tear it off. Look what it's tearing up. Look at that. What is that? Is that leather? Is that how easy leather tears? That's not leather. So what part is leather? Only this back part. You see that? Now this one's actually a little surprising because usually it's just the center part that's leather. But on this one, it's this back part. So what they do is, so you have leather like this that's really thick. And then you have leather like this that's really thin. So in the manufacturing, what they do is they strip off the back of the leather, leaving you this full grain. This is the useful part that a lot of places use. Leaving you this full grain. That's what you get your jackets out of and everything. And then they skive it. They skive the leather down to get it thinner than the thick pieces. And so what they've skived off, and let me show you what I mean by skiving. I have a tool, I have a skiver, a little small skiver, hand skiver. Larger companies, they're not going to use these. They're going to use, you know, big machines that you could put a whole thing of leather through. And what it is, you know, here's the full grain. This is what's meant by full grain. It's the top part of the leather. And then back here is the part that you skive off, or the suede. Suede is just leather that has been skived off the full grain. So as you see there, I did that cut, which made it smaller, you know, and I use this whenever I need some leather to be thinner. I'll use this tool, and makes it easier for rivets, you know, get the leather down to the right size for the rivets and for the buttons to go through. So this right here is suede. Now this is veg tan suede. Most suede is chrome tan, so it's a lot more flexible, a lot more comfortable, you know. And when it's chrome tan, that's what you get your, that's what you make your leather jackets out of. So they take this suede, which is a lot cheaper. So the full grain is sold for a high price. Here for my veg tan leather, you know, you're talking about $15 a square foot. But this suede you can buy for about $3 a square foot. And then this material and this crap stuff, I'm really disappointed in this. This is just like foam stuff in here. This is horrible. I can't even believe that. I was actually surprised by that. And so this, you know, this stuff is like really cheap. You know, this is vinyl. That stuff is obviously really cheap. And then the only leather is this cheap suede that's on the back. That's, you know, I mean, you know, I can get it for about, you know, $2 to $3 a square foot. When you're buying in bulk as big as these companies do, you're talking about $1 per square foot that they're willing to sell it off for, because they buy so much. They have bigger buying power than I do, so they get it a lot cheaper. And so when your belt says genuine leather, this is the only thing that's actually genuine leather on this belt. Usually, it's just suede in the middle. That's what I've found, is it's usually just the suede in the middle with vinyl on top and vinyl on the back. But this one, for some reason, they have the suede on the back. So just because the belt says genuine leather, there is some genuine leather on there, but it's not the good kind. The way that you know that you're getting a genuine leather belt that is actually all leather all the way through, not vinyl and whatever this stuff is, you know, you're not going to see any stitching. And here's another place where you can check it, is right here. You see that? Right there by the buckle. You can see the 3 pieces coming apart. So that's another place where you can check for layers. If it has layers, probably not genuine leather. Well, not all genuine leather. It's partly genuine leather. And so a belt that, you know, would be pretty expensive is made cheaper. It is cheaper to get these, to get this vinyl and this foam. It is cheaper to get this vinyl and this foam stuff, and to use just a little bit of real leather than it is to use all leather. And so that's how they make their money, you know. And they put on their genuine leather, so then they try to sell it for the same price as, you know, a real all leather belt. Now with my belts, you know, I also do some that are covered with alligator, and so it's going to be, and so what I do is I actually glue and sew the alligator to the suede side, and then this the full grain side is actually towards your body when it goes on. So that way you have all leather, no vinyl, no foam filler, nothing, and then the alligator on top. And so on mine, it's those ones with the alligators that's going to have this, with the alligator skin that has the stitching. Or if you know you wanted hippo or python or anything else, that's going to have stitching on it. But it's going to be with this genuine leather as a backing for it. So, how to measure your belt. How to get the right measurement. Well, this is how you do it with me. So you get the belt that you love to wear, and you see where the hole is that you use the most. Let's say this is the hole. So you measure from the center of this hole all the way down to where the leather stops, not including the buckle. Whatever that measurement is, that's the size of the belt that I need from you. That's the measurement. And so you can go on my website and you look at the belt that you want, and it'll have a bunch of inches on there. And so just remember, it's from your favorite hole all the way to this. That's how many inches it's going to be. And then there's going to be 2 holes in front of it, and then the rest of the belt to fit into the keep. And that's the measurement I need for my when you go on my website, and to be able to get the right size. Well, I hope this was informative. It was a little shocking for me to see how cheap that belt was made, and I bought it at a nice place. I mean, it's an old belt, you can tell. I mean, it was very much well used. But I bought it, and I was like, ooh, yeah, genuine leather. This is great. I love real leather, because I've always loved leather, even before I was working on leather work. And then when I found out what a belt's really made out of, that says genuine leather, I was kind of shocked. But mine is genuine leather all the way through. You know, there's no fillers, there's no vinyl, there's no foam, there's no nothing. Thank you all for watching. Remember, here at Forge Glory, we're all about the leather, my shop, and your design coming together to make some great products. Have a good one.